Yeah. Good morning, good evening, all of you, wherever you are. I just want to, I will get started. I don't know how many more people may join, but we are recording the session and it will be shared in the group for anyone else who wants to watch it later. So we won't be waiting for anyone else to join as well. Um, so there are a few things that I want to just address before we get started. One is I want all of you to understand that we are an NGO that um, this is not something we do on a daily basis. We are not a distribution company, or we're not a private company that sells devices and distributes it on a day-to-day basis. We are a nonprofit which does community work to provide access to healthcare. And when this project came up, we in the interest of the community and with the goodwill that we had as a community for API and ApShiNi, Dr. Amit, and the rest of the team, we wanted to help in whatever way we can, and that's why we came forward to do this. So I want all of you to know that, and there are some messages uh, that come that treat us as if we are some vendor who's just selling stuff. We are not doing that. So I want all of you to understand that we're all going out of our way and putting in a lot of time, effort, energy, and risk for, especially for the people on the ground. Everything is not normal yet, but we are still doing it, and I want all of you to take a moment to appreciate that. um, Having said that, I also want to thank all the volunteer teams who have been helping us in this process. I know it's been a long and difficult process to, it has been it's quite challenging for all of us through this process. And um, we there are still some ongoing deliveries that are happening. There are some places where the units may have been exchanged, or they may not be functional. So we will be sorting all of that, but you have to give us time. We've also set up a helpline which will be available for any of your queries and clarifications that you can call on. And also the people on the helpline are all volunteers, so please understand that they are offering this as a service, so please be mindful of that. Right. Coming to the units, we will be demonstrating how to use a single flow unit and a couple of the double flow units. Some of the devices that you have got may be different from what you are seeing, but the basic principle is all the same. So you can use the example of the demo that we are providing, and then use that to use your device or test your device. In case you're having any difficulty with that, then you can use the helpline, or you can call us, and then we can try and set up according to the convenience another demonstration if we are not able to get it running, right? So we will work that out in individual cases if at all it is necessary. So before we get to anything else, a couple of points. One, if your unit is dead on arrival, if it is not working on arrival, please make sure you let us know, and then it has to be sent back to the Bangalore center. Again, we are not a shipping company, or we are not a seller agency that we will send someone to pick it up. And I know it will be challenging, but we'll need to figure this out and uh, uh, get the device back so we can then send it. Also, the replacement, if it is not functioning, if it is dead on arrival, will not be immediate, because we have to then get back to the company, and then they have to provide a replacement. And once that replacement arrives, we will send this. In the meantime, if we have any leftover devices that we can replace, then we will do it, but it is not something we can commit to right now, right? So if there are any other parts missing or broken, those are something which we have already replaced in a couple of places, and that can be done right away. But make sure you're using according to instructions, using with the voltage stabilizer when possible, because fluctuations can also spoil the device. right? So, but rest assured, if there are any other concerns, we will work with you to help in whatever way we can and make sure that it is functional, right? So before, so I think with that, we will come to the demonstration part. Mohit will take over and just explain the components of the three devices. Basically, like any, I will switch to the Mohit's view so you can all see the video. So there will be three, any oxygen concentrator. So there is basically a plug you'll have to plug in, power supply, right? And some people had questions about filter. So the filter is already inside. You don't have to insert anything. It's already inside. So please don't try to find a filter or fit it in somewhere. You don't have to do that. It's inbuilt. It will have a humidifier bottle that you'll have to fill with water, distilled water preferably, right? And then there is a inlet tube that connects to the concentrator, and then outlet tube that goes to the patient. And then there is a knob that adjusts the flow. So these are the standard things that you have in all concentrators. In single flow, you only have one humidifier and one flow. In dual flow, you have two humidifiers and two knobs to adjust, right? So I will let Mohit briefly describe the different components and then how it has to be set up and how it can be adjusted.
Thanks, Dr. Daya. I'm Mohit here, working as a volunteer with AarogyaSeva. Hope you guys can hear me. Daya, am I audible?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me explain to you about the first model, that is a single flow. On the screen, you will find it on the right-hand side. This model. I'm pointing out to this model. Okay, let me explain the working of that. Just keep the screen closely to this. Okay. Here, you just have to, before switching on the concentrator, the control switches on the top of this model. It's right here. Before switching it on, just plug in the cable. The cable comes from this point, if you can see this, and there's a power button here. This is the kill switch. Sorry, now you can see that. The kill switch is given here. Okay, once you plug on this point, keep it in off position. This is the off position. Okay, and then we come on the front end, and this is the humidifier. Okay, the humidifier has to be filled with the distilled water as prescribed by the doctor. Okay, if it is half full, that's more than enough. Okay, and just place it here. This tube will be provided with the humidifier, with the unit. Just fix it on top of this and ensure you tighten this knob. This knob you see here, when I'm pointing to. And you don't have to tighten it completely. Okay. And this pipe here fixes to the outlet here, just right behind the humidifier. Okay. And this thing, you don't have to do anything of this. You just leave it alone. This knob, just fix it here. Okay. And once you do that, you switch on the kill switch on the back side. Okay, and then you turn this on. Once you turn this on, you can see that display, which is switched on. Just turn it on. Okay, if you can see that it's showing the purity of this, the purity of the oxygen which is coming out. The outlet pipe has to be connected to this part. So whatever the pipe which is being provided or prescribed with the doctor has to be connected here. And this is the flow meter. So now it is set at almost 10 liters per minute. Okay. And here you can decrease or increase as per your requirement, as per the prescription, as per whatever the doctor has prescribed. Okay. You turn it on the right side, it decreases. You turn it on the left side, gradually increase. Okay. And here, if you see, there will be air which is coming out of this outlet. That is oxygen, which is output. And if you see here, the humidifier is in working condition. You will find bubbles here. That's about it about the single flow. So here now I'll come to the dual flow. Basically, the working is the same as a single flow. Here you'll have two humidifier bottles and two flow meters. In the same way, you will have to connect the power cable, and there's a kill switch as well for this model as well. You can find the kill switch here in this position. Okay, and you don't have to change anything or meddle with any of these units here because these are the filters. It's already pre-installed. Okay. In this humidifier, you connect the pipe here, and this doesn't have a knob or anything as such. It's just a straight fit, and this pipe gets connected right on the back side of that humidifier. You see here, at this point. Okay, once you do that, you switch on the Norwegian and switch it off. Okay. Once you switch it on, you see the flow meters here. It is now set at 4 liters. On the right hand side for the right humidifier, the left hand side for the left humidifier. If you want to use only one humidifier, you just turn this knob to 0. That will stop working. You see that? And there's no output here. Output is only here. If you want to use for 2 patients, you can just turn on this. There the other knob. See that working now. Hope I'm clear with this, and I'll go to the next model right now. The next model, just the appearance is a little different, but the working is the same. Here, you will not have any pipe from this humidifier to an outlet. The outlet is right there. You just have to screw this bolt up for both humidifiers. That's it. That's the only difference. And the kill switch is right here on the top. And there are 2 flow meters here. This flow meter for this humidifier and this flow meter for this humidifier. The same way, if you want only one humidifier to work, you just close this knob and you see that it stops working. And this output only is from here. And we turn this on. You see that? It starts working again. Predominantly, all the humidifiers, the basic working is the same. It's just that there are few controls which you need to go through. Please read the user manual carefully before you start working on the concentrators. And different locations have different kind of voltage fluctuations. Please use a voltage stabilizer for these units. Thank you. There is anything else that I can help?
No, that's fine. Thank you. So I think that's the basic demonstration for all the concentrators. If any of you in the room have a question about the use of the concentrators, then please raise a hand, or you can type in the chat window or unmute yourself and ask the question. Only about the usage and the demo itself. Yeah, if you have questions about any of those, please feel free to ask now. So this session is recorded and we will share this with everyone. If people are not able to join as well, I'm going to so yeah, the water you'll have to use distilled water ideally. So yes.
हमें water क्या हम ये filtered water use
Yeah, I am answering that question.
Okay.
No, you ideally use distilled water.
From the chemist.
Yes, ideally distilled water because it is sterile. and
Okay.
regular filter water may not be having bacterial and viral filters. It may only be mineral filter, so we don't know what kind of filter it is. So
Okay.
please use distilled water so that it is a sterile water. Okay.
ओके
Yeah, I
और
think
वोल्टेज स्टेबलाइजर मस्ट है?
no, if
ये वही वाला
you
स्टेबलाइजर है जो एसी के लिए हम यूज करते हैं?
if you have regular decent power supply, then it should be fine. But
Okay.
if you have fluctuations, then ideally you can use like any other appliance you use at home. If you're using a step, you may have some centralized MCP, whatever that is, stabilizers installed in some homes. In some homes, you may not, right? So you have to use accordingly. Like, yeah.
And
और ये कैसे
Daya,
पता
I
चलेगा जो हमारा कंसंट्रेटर है वो डेड है या नहीं? मतलब हम उसको ऑपरेट करके देखें पहले, प्लग
G.
इन करके देखें?
Yes.
ओके.
And you have to do that. Make sure you do that before the 15th. Don't just keep the
Before
box
15.
unopened. For 3 months later, you open it
Hello,
and
can you hear me?
yes. Please go ahead with your questions.
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead with your question. Nitin, Lavanya ji, you have a question, you can ask.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Daya.
Yeah.
I'm Nitin. I'm from Noida. So I have received the concentrator, which is kept in the middle, which Mr. Mohit showed, right? And I was using an RO water in that, containers. I just wanted to know that, is there a possibility that if we put a RO water, it will not work also, or there is some problem in the machine?
No, there is no, the water is not going to affect the working in any ways. If it is not working, then it probably is, there's something wrong with the machine. In your case, we can do a separate call and look at the device and see how you're using it. We can set that up after this call. We can do a video call and see what is happening. And if it is not working fine, then we can arrange for it to be sent back so that we can do a replacement if it is not functional.
Hello,
So
can you hear
I
me?
give you a call after
Yeah.
this meeting?
Yeah.
I am Devraj Malhotra.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to check, will the normal power supply in India will work, or do we need to have a converter over here?
No, you don't need a converter. It's a normal power supply. But if there is
Normal power supply.
yes, normal power supply, you can plug in directly. But if like any other expensive appliance that you use at home, fridge, TV, if you're using a voltage stabilizer in case in your area there is voltage fluctuation, you can use the same for this, but it is not necessary, essential.
Okay, and also the model which have been sent to me, you are not showing that model.
Right. So that's probably because we don't have any of those left. We've sent everything out, right? So we don't have any.
No,
But
what I'm saying is that the one you gave demo.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that we don't have extra pieces of all the models for demo here. We have sent everything out. So in case your model is different and you have difficulty using, you can tell us and we can set up a separate call with you to go through that device.
So how do I do that? I send a WhatsApp message to you?
Yeah, please do that, sir. We can set up a separate video call and demonstrate.
Okay, so
Dr.
can the call be set up today?
Nikhil, I've sent in three questions over chat to you. Would you be able to answer them, please?
Is there an yeah, the air filter is already inbuilt. You don't have to do anything with that. The wattage, I don't know what that is, but it is appropriate for Indian condition, Indian power supply. In terms of usage, usually what we do in the hospital setting, it doesn't matter what concentrator. It usually runs, this is a hospital grade one, so it should be able to run continuously for, usually about 8 to 10 hours, and then there's a gap of 2 hours, 3 hours, so it gets rested. But it under test conditions, it can be run continuously up to 72 hours.
Soumya.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we will share, like I said, we have recorded this session. We will share this again. If you want any reference, you can look back at the video and look at it. And if you have any other questions, please use the helpline that we have provided, and you can call and provide your concern there, and somebody will get back to you with the appropriate solution, right? And yeah, I think I will stop